Did Prophet and his family members, his grandfathers and so on, ever worship idols?
The Arabs were the descendants of Ibrahim, the Prophet Ibrahim. But the monotheism that Ibrahim taught was lost. And what I mentioned earlier, the concept of God was altered. Once your concept of God, the rububiyyah, is altered and deficiencies are introduced to God, naturally what's going to follow? Worship will alter. And hence, because they believed God had deficiencies, couldn't resurrect the dead, couldn't hear all the prayers at one time, couldn't answer everyone at one time, then they started worshiping idols. And the family of the Prophet, peace be upon him, specifically did not worship idols, although they lived in the idol worshiping community. No family of the Prophet, no direct offspring, father, I should say, direct antecedent of the Prophet, mother or father, was an idolater. And this is one of the meanings of وَتَقَلُّبَكَ فِي السَّاجِدِينَ. Okay. And you're transmitting from one person to another, and Allah describes them as prostrating person. So his mother and fathers, all of them prostrated to Allah and nobody else, all from Adam. But importantly, the grandfather of the Prophet was considered almost like a legend and even a godly man. And that is 3 miracles occurred in his time. The well of Zamzam was discovered through a dream that he had, as well as a treasure. And the dispute against Abraha. Abraha came to destroy the Kaaba. The people were saved by Abdul Muttalib. Abdul Muttalib saved them by saying, leave Allah to protect his house. All of you take your wealth and your families and go up to the mountains. Then the birds came and destroyed the soldiers of Abraha and left the rest of the Quraysh, the tribe of the Prophet. So Abdul Muttalib had many other instances like this that elevated him to the level of the untouchables in their society. When we say untouchable, it's a good thing. Like, you cannot reach his level of allure. And the Quraysh became called the people of Allah. Allah protects them. They're special, something special. So Allah Ta'ala does not surprise people with a new message. He gave them ample runway, such that when Muhammad declares his prophethood, it should be a no-brainer to you. If you're fair, if you're thinking. His grandfather was great. Then he lived another 40 years. And he himself was trustworthy, honest, and never spoke poetry or gave speeches or sought power. Now that he comes and he says that he has a religion and he recites a book, you all agree, transcends Arabic poetry. Why shouldn't you believe in him? So this is the generosity of Allah. And this is what teaches us that when we give dawah, if I were to just tell somebody, hey, listen, you have a God, Muhammad is his prophet, you're going to die and be judged. And the book is the Quran. And the prophet's name is Muhammad. So technically, I've given him the message. But if we look at how Allah gave the message, it's ample runway of trustworthiness. The concrete of that runway is made with trustworthiness, such that when we pop the announcement, it should go down easy, right? And we make the announcement and make the claim and make the ask, so to speak. It should go down easy. It should be a no-brainer. And for us, we have to build trust while we give our dawah. We have to build trust in order for people to accept it.